Hi, Julie Jones from SSB Performance, Smarter, Stronger, Better Mindset Training here with this week's Mindset Made Simple Tip of the Week, brought to you by Game Day Sportswear. Glad to have them as a sponsor. This week, we're talking about the quality of our performance in our lives is directly related to our focus. As I look ahead to the sessions that I have coming up with college athletes, I've got a free one on June 1st and then a month-long intensive workshop starting on June 8th or June 9th. Please go to my website and check out the information there, ssbperformance.com/courses or workshops, and you can sign up and register or share that with people who may be interested. But as I look ahead to those, I started to think, what am I going to load this up with? What do I need to hit on in the short amount of time that I have with these athletes? Do I talk about confidence and how confidence is so important, maybe even more important than competence, according to the confidence code? I believe that's the name of the book. That's something they say, that confidence may be more important than really how good we are at things. Do I talk about self-talk and how we would never talk to the people around us the way we talk to ourselves and how that affects our performance? Or do I talk about focus and how being able to focus or refocus or what we're focused on, how does that affect our performance? And I thought that's where it lies. We need to talk about our focus. I read a quote on Twitter the other day from Jeff Jansen, who's a leadership guru. He's great. Lots of you have probably heard of him. It said, your choices determine our success. And then he put it like 5 or 6 times. He capitalized our, then choices, then determine, and went on down. So it read differently every single time. And as I think about that, let's take that one step deeper. If our choices determine our success, what affects our choices? I think if we put in there, your focus determines our success, that takes it down even one level deeper. Our focus is everything. Those of you who have worked with sports psychologists or mental training coaches have heard of the attentional styles. We've got broad external, narrow external, broad internal, narrow internal, where we assess and analyze and prepare and then act. And it's really important to understand all those things. We have to understand what habits and routines we need, what strategies we need to be able to perform in the moment. And that helps us in a cycle of being able to follow what we're supposed to be following in order to get a task or a skill completed. But even more importantly, what we focus on makes a difference in how we feel about what we're doing. So many times we spend time thinking about all the things that we're trying to avoid. In fact, when I work with teams in person, I do a little exercise where I have the athletes throw soft things at our volunteer while she or he is trying to complete a task. And these things represent all the things that are being thrown at us on a daily basis. What are they thinking? What am I supposed to be doing? I'm not good enough. What did I do the last time? I screwed this up the last time. What does coach want? What's my dad thinking? What are people going to say? That's what all those little soft things that are being thrown at represent. And they have to fend them off while they do their task. They've got to do the task and not allow all these things to hit them. Then I say, let them hit you. They're not going to hurt you. Just focus on the task or skill at hand. How's it easier? Were you better the second time when you were focused on what you need to focus on, or were you better when you're trying to fend off all the things that are being thrown at us? Well, we know the answer to that. Right? We can't be focused on the outcome and the process at the same time. We can't be focused on the goal and the means at the same time. It's not possible. So our focus makes all the difference in how we perform and how we feel. So many times we are focused on all the things that we don't want to happen instead of what we do want to happen. In the book, it's called Golf is Not a Perfect Game. The author says, if you're not thinking about where you want the ball to go when you're standing over your shot, what are you thinking about? It's a really good question. It's really simple. If you're not thinking about what you want to happen, then what in the heck are you thinking about? I know what you're thinking about. You're thinking about all those things. You're thinking about all the problems that you've had today. You're thinking about what other people are thinking. All those things is what you're thinking about. Those are the things I think about. You're thinking about the fact that you're not sure if you really can do this. You wonder, is anybody going to listen? Is anybody reading my stuff? Why am I doing this? Is it worth the time? Am I making a difference? All these different things come into our heads when we need to be focused on standing over our shot and thinking about where we want it to go. I often say to the teams and athletes I work with, do you ever sit down at a table at a restaurant and while the waiter is standing at your side, you sit and tell him everything you don't want on the menu? You never do that and then expect to get the meal that you're craving. You tell him exactly what you want. If you're not telling him exactly what you want, you are not focused on exactly what you want. And if you don't focus on exactly what you want, you will not get exactly what you want. Does it mean that you will get exactly what you want? Sometimes waiters make mistakes. Sometimes the thing we want doesn't happen, but we're giving ourselves an opportunity to get what we want if we actually order it. If we don't order it, we're never going to get it. And if we tell them what we don't want, we are definitely going to get something that we don't want. It works every single time. 100% of the time, you will get what you don't want. I mean, 99, whatever. You get the picture. We have to say what we want. We can ask ourselves in our performance, is this thought, is this focus making me better right now? Is it helping move me forward? We can ask those same questions in life. Is what I'm focused on today helping move me forward? And if it's not, we're not going to go where we want to go. I spend a lot of time, and I'm sure you do too, thinking about, worrying about, thinking about what other people are going to think. How am I going to be judged? Will people pay this much? Will anybody get anything out of this? Whatever it might be. We're thinking about those things. Instead, I could focus on my gifts and the process and my plans, just like you. If we're not focused on those things, we are not going to move forward. We're not going to put our best foot forward. We will not be confident enough to go where we want to go. Our focus determines our success. It helps our confidence. It helps our consistency, but we have to train it because we are not naturally going to look for all the good. We need to be looking for the good stuff. A great athlete, according to the author of Golf is Not a Perfect Game, trains him or herself to think this way. They only take the shots that they want to repeat from yesterday's performance and bring it into today's. We choose what we relive. We choose our focus. And if we work on it, we can get better at it. We can rewire our brain to look for those things so that we're helping ourselves instead of holding ourselves down with all of the things that take our focus away, which happens all the time. And most of the things that take our focus away are in here, our internal thoughts. We get to decide how we focus. Champions are selective about their focus. They focus on the things that will help them. They focus on the things that will move them forward. So my question to you is, what are you focused on? And is what you're focused on helping move you forward? You can practice, you can train, you can get better at that just like I need to. And if you like, you can join me on June 15th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for a free workshop to talk about focus and performance. Sign up at my website, ssbperformance.com/focus. There's a link there, and I look forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, manage the moments, check out your focus, and I'll see you next week.